Life goes on.
Incinerate! By royal decree!
Orders given. Orders received.
Power that ended high jump. Boom boom! Ha! Breath of the flame! Ha! Incinerate! Oz, reveal that! Boom boom! Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Wheel of life.
Incinerate! By royal decree! Eyes on me! Time for your arraignment! Boom boom!
Go.
Incinerate!
Sacred name. Fortune preserver.
Incinerate! Yikes! Inadmissible evidence! To ashes! Motion to compel!
Life goes on. Wow.
Oz, reveal thy... compel. Breath of the flame. Boom boom. Back off. Power that ended Haishan.
Wheel of life.
Incinerate.
Rise.
By royal decree. Ha! To ashes.
Opening box of Adepti tricks.
Inadmissible evidence. Ha! Ha! Boom boom. Ha!
Wheel of life.
Incinerate. Boom boom. Motion to compel. Breath of the flame. Incinerate. But my defense was watertight.
Life goes on. Life.
Motion to Motion to compel. Oz revealed thy...
As you wish, mein Fräulein.
Boom! Motion to compel.
Sacred name, fortune preserver.
Invisible evidence. Power that ended Haishan. Boom! Back off! strange and unprecedented one indeed. Should I choose? My royal motion to compel. Incinerate! Oz, reveal thyself! Wings of darkness! Come, sever night from the...
Orders given. Orders received.
Eyes on me! Boom boom! Time for your arraignment!
Wheel of life.
Boom boom! By royal decree, back off! Motion to compel. Motion to compel.
Another test subject.
Boom boom!
I got careless. Picked the wrong test subject.
Back off! Incinerate!
That was
Motion to compel. Incinerate. Power that ended Haishan. Admissible evidence. Boom boom.
You're open.
Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilly churros? startled them. Enough talk. Let's take them out of the picture first.
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilly trails unfinished.
What's up with painting hilly churls? What makes them?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow, look at the detail. But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these hilly trails anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here in the cyclical lives of such primitive communities. Such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work.
Hold your horses. Ugh, something tells me we're in for a We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprised, but back to the point. From her words, it's...
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honor. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. From another world, correct? Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin?
Whoa. You want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying to explain. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the...
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much assistance.
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of life outside of the known world. But you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you, I may just be able to find a way to get the seed to sprout.
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
Mora, knowledge, and the answer to the question you are seeking. It happens to be an answer that I can provide. Time for a change of surroundings. We should be
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Paimon has a question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know. But I feel the importance will lie in the method. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding. After awakening, even creation may be possible.
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy related. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person, how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few questions in that regard. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Fascinating. And this floating child is connected to your body in some way?
What a stupid question. Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connect. Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder, did Paimon guide the elemental power to you? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Spring.
Hey, how would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the human. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in the research, it seems that only experimentation will Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests externally. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to
Huh? Doesn't seem very...
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. But naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself.
Incinerate! Chia! Chia! Boom boom! Ha! Chia! Ta! Huh!
Odds revealed by...
Motion to compel! Ha! Breath of the flame! Ha! Chia! Ta! Ha!
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's
Internal flow?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract elemental power. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness. No bodily
And in the abnormal?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not to. Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to... Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign. Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a catalyst. We'll need to find it. It's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not all of it. I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any all going to plan. We should be able to begin concocting the potion when we get to the campsite.
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like there's a silver lining. Let's keep our eyes open.
do for catalyst purposes.
Boom!
This one, usable with a bit of polish.
Motion to compel.
What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board there.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses, perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes. Consider, you don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either, yet they too are able to manipulate the elements. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis in fact.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements. A cryoregis vine, or even a whopper flower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's origins. In that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. This traveler is a visitor from another world. If it turned out that she did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world. Now that really...
It would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. Also, speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen...
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow is complete, there won't be any.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. Perhaps it's just scholarly self-assurance, and it certainly speeds things up. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world. Nothing peculiar.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same, they can understand, empathize. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their but a peculiar person. They don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of, for example, a human can't understand the life of a Pyroregisvine or an Eye of the Storm. Have I explained it clearly enough? To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your Timaeus. The results of the new experiment are out.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form?
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore.
You can count on me, sir.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to... what Paimon meant to say was that...
Before we can proceed with our research, if you're interested, why not have a look around?
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Agreed. Well, there may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Teyvat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements. But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. So, leaving elements to one side, do you possess any unique abilities? Ones that don't exist in this world? I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, no. You shan't be required to exert quite so much effort. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
That was your best effort? Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking as such. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with... Anyway, why don't you cook us up a Sunshine Sprat? I've just finished preparing the recipe.
Cooking? Paimon was looking forward to more mats.
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, it's also worth experimenting with and...
Paimon bets you're just hungry. That does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves. Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking if there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can fit...
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Maybe try the willpower thing again. Where does it get these ideas from anyway? Let's just...
average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headaches in your world as it does ours. Unless... could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your unique abilities?
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel this. And here's your portion. Enjoy.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago, but you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good students?
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on to the next experiments. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me. Animal crystal fly elemental extract and electrohypostasis powder.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go get...
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though, if you had, say, superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, lost property would be a thing of the past. I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking just now.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh, yeah! You... This must be electrohypostasis powder. The extract of an animal crystal fly can only be animal elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it.
Goodness, you managed to find them. I'm wondering, this elemental sight, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
Yep. Guess it does sort of count as...
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean we failed?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items, I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is just beginning. In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical. Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jump from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, so what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into 1,000,000 fragments? Then could you see her? Then I shouldn't get too excited. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my...
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're...
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using... Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, every detail is invaluable to the... Then if you would, please, I eagerly...
Wait a minute. While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing... emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything. Life goes on.
Great work. I've never seen your reputation precedes you, Traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming the average...
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But if it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization. If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insight.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. As the unknown transitions into the realm of scientific understanding, the feeling of enlightenment is lost. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of a sunsetia or a sweet flower. They cease...
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly turtles? Because you got to see something new and interesting and the differences...
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring, not worth closer inspection. There is precious little about them that serves to pique my...
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you?
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me. Now, before we head back to the campsite, follow me. There are some other ruins. few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities. Much as I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate them. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action I wish to observe. Remember that this is a test of intellect. So should you get lucky in any way, that won't be factored. So, let's see you in action. Start wherever you like. It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution. Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
By royal decree! Motion to compel! There's still a long road. Starfall! Drop! Starfall! Motion to compel!
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out. Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, and there's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, a true mystery. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our...
Another thing for the don't understand list. Unsolvable mystery this, weird experiment that. It'd be nice. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the...
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively. The little... Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing the results of all this brain ache. Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back to...
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You!
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? Participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps you were colluding from the beginning.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into...
So, what are you gonna do?
I've got to hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, but for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no, which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your...
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never mind her.
You're back. Good timing. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Teyvat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned. Under the effect, but after I observed you, imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Oh, it looks like something's appearing.
transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem. And is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself? It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of
Paimon thought with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one unburdened by loneliness. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
Things... Don't be sad. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was valuable in the future. If the need arises, can I solicit your help again? Well, I made a point throughout of telling her how ordinary the results were. Then what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me?
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.